Welcome to Chris and Carlette Live, a podcast about life, love, and overcoming obstacles. Each week, we discuss the good, the bad, and the indifferent of life's interruptions. Now, here's your host, Chris and Carlette.
Keep believing, don't go stressing, keep it moving. God, we're resting, here to help you, here to bless you. With God on our side, CNC Life.
Well, welcome everyone. Today is March 17th. Some say it's what is March 17th, the holiday?
Oh, St. Patty's?
St. Patty's Day. Yes.
Oh, I don't have on any green.
I don't have any green, but I have on my birthday cruise shirt. Yesterday was my birthday. Yes. You, Carlette, you want to go over what we did for my birthday?
Well, we chilled. I made breakfast. I made them a surprise breakfast. And what I mean by surprise is, you know, I like to cook, right? So I wanted something that tasted like a banana split in pancakes, but without bananas. Because what else goes on a banana split is what? Strawberries and pineapples. So I infused the pancakes with fresh strawberries and fresh pineapple with some almond and coconut flavoring with the batter, you know. And then they didn't know it was there until they cut into their pancakes, and the rest is history. And I sprinkled the
as my mom or dad would say.
Yeah. So then just relaxing, did cake because he's being sent off.
Yes, she's sending me off
for his birthday
to hang out with my Bill.
I'm gonna hold down the fort.
My brother-in-law. Yes.
Have some male time with the brothers, with his brother-in-law, but you know, the men of God, to hang out, to say, how you doing? Everything okay? Just to laugh and, you know, sit back and relax and enjoy one another.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's Friday was fun-filled, wasn't it? So we had to take Chloe, our daughter. She is. She's starting tennis lessons.
It's tennis. She put up the ballet.
She probably say tennis.
Right. She put up the ballet slippers and the tap shoes. She said, no more.
Yeah.
I want to play tennis now.
Right. And then our middle son, he's starting conditioning. He's working out. This was Saturday morning. It was a little chilly outside, but he's starting with Coach P, and I forgot the other coach's name. But so he's starting to work out. Probably going to explore some more defensive positions this year coming up. Trying to get him trying to learn tight end. He just got to get his hands right. And then we found a picture, and this leads us to our guest.
Yeah.
Our guest. Guys, we have a phenomenal product, phenomenal guest.
Yes.
For all of you all that have loved ones. Like, we signed up for this subscription to see photos of of Christian, who's our oldest son, who just turned 21. So this is him climbing the tower. And one of the things when we talked to him the other day, he said, you know, this was a fear of his.
Yeah, it was.
And so, but he got through it. So, but guys, gals, how do we communicate other than just by phone call? Well, this product, this awesome tool that we use is how we do. We write letters, several letters.
Oh, yes.
So many letters that it was recommended by him to come to the front of the line.
Yes. His battle buddy said, you just need to stay up front. They keep calling your name.
Right. So we have a special guest, and he's a representative of the app, the website, the app called Sandboxx.
Yes.
And he's going to give us more information about it. But Sergeant Major, and he's retired, Kris Broadus, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, a Lexington, Kentucky native, joined the Army in 1995 and dedicated over 25 years to service. He rose through the ranks and held various assignments of increased responsibility throughout his career. His career culminated as the Operations Sergeant Major for the 2nd Recruiting Brigade, overseeing Army recruiting operations across the South. In Huntsville, Alabama. We're also familiar with Huntsville.
Oh, yeah.
Which with his wife Tracy of 24 years. And we're on our 24th year.
It'll be 24
we gotta ask him what month he got married in too. And their son Tyson, a high school senior. So they're about to have an empty nest. So let's bring on our guest, Kris.
Let's welcome him.
Let's welcome him. Hello, sir. How are you? Can
unmute yourself.
I think you
might be muted.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait, Kris.
No, it's on me. Oh, hold on. There we go. All right. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. I can't tell you how hungry I am hearing about that breakfast.
It was fantastic. Yes. Birthday weekend. I tell you, sir, it was fabulous. And now she's sending me off.
Send them out. Have some boy time. Some guys.
Yes.
in the woods, in the cabins.
Yes. So I want to thank you so more ways than one.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you personally for taking the time to be on our podcast. Mm-hmm. This is awesome. I want to thank you for allowing us and your staff of, I think it's 20, but thank you for allowing us to communicate with our fellow loved ones who are in the military. This is like when we heard, I forget how we heard about Sandboxx. A little bit.
I hear it in your throat. I hear it in your throat.
But it's been truly a blessing for us to be able to communicate with him because, and one of the things that I told you I didn't want to tell while we were, in the green room, the virtual green room, but today or Sunday, we got a call from him. And one of the things that he said, he received our letters and he said, he was so excited. He said, keep them coming.
Yep.
Keep them coming. And I don't know personally because we only get an hour. Well, we actually get like less than 30 minutes because he has to call his favorite cousin. But I mean, we haven't had a chance to really dig deep into the emotional side part of this. Like what are the letters doing for him? But I want you to give us a little background about Sandboxx and how it got started and what your role is. Just give us a brief history.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thank you for allowing me to come on and be a guest and share this time with you. But most importantly, thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey supporting Christian as he becomes a soldier. And that is really what it's all about is, ensuring that families, friends, and loved ones can maintain meaningful connections. And that's what we're all about. So I can't thank you think that's a little foreshadowing to how important these letters are, is, that support that Christian is getting from you and the rest of the family. But a little bit about us. I mean, so we've been around for about 10 years. We were founded by 2 Marines. And how this idea kind of came up is the co-founder started thinking about, how do we keep families more connected? Let's create some stickiness so that they can stay in contact and communicate with each other. And it just kind of matriculated into this idea of, what is one of the biggest, friction points for when new service members join the Army or the Marine Corps or the Navy or the Air Force or the Coast Guard? It's that initial journey to basic training. And we're in an environment where we are more connected than we've ever been in our life. We've had instant gratification in terms of communicating. We have cell phones. I can send a text. After I send the text, I can see the 3 dots when you're responding. I can track you on Life 360. And I mean, it's just immediate. And then when our loved ones show up to basic training, the cell phones go off. And it just becomes this dark period. And it's uncertainty. And the mind start to wonder. And I'm sure you all experience Christian first to Fort Jackson is, what is he doing? I can't talk to him. I can't, I don't know. But there's this, innate desire to stay connected. Thousand letters a day across all branches. And a lot of people think of it's just letters, but it's so much more than letters that we do. It's the information, it's the content, and it's really the wrapping our arms around the new service members and their families, because we know that, meaningful connections matter. And we want to do everything that we can from the inception of the military enlistment, whether it's the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Space Force, Air Force, Coast Guard, etc. We want to make that ecosystem thrive. And we want to educate hometown America on what it means to serve and all the great things that come with service to your nation.
Wow. Well, I want to say this. When you just made the comment about then all of a sudden they don't have their cell phone. When he was on the bus, we were texting back and forth, or he'd call real quick. He still had his phone. I didn't think he was going to be able to do that on the bus heading to Fort Jackson. And so then we were talking, and I was getting kind of comfortable with it. Then all of a sudden I felt a disconnect. I felt it. His phone, I think I text or tried to call. It's almost like it was, I said, Chris, he's at the point where we cannot get to him now. I felt it. And it felt so cold. It felt like he was just ripped away from me. And the next thing. Now, not saying it's not an error here or there, but it hasn't been a situation where you went too far and had to go back. It hasn't been that. You'll be held back before you go too far. And so, and what I mean by that, it's just, I can appreciate that it didn't feel rushed, but yet it was in step.
And one of the things about the app as well that helps is, and we'll do this little screen share so everybody can see what the app looks like from a web perspective. But what I can appreciate about Sandboxx is the fact that you all give week by week steps on what your child or loved one is going through. That is like so awesome to us.
I love to know what's about to happen this week. You know, I love that. I know this week is for Christian is the Anvil. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Anvil.
Anvil week.
Yeah.
And so when he described it, he said it's like the hammer times 2. And so
well, let's see. How did you all get to, you know, put like, just how did it come to evolve as far as the features and stuff to Sandboxx?
Well, I will tell you, you know, one of the first things I think out there is there's so many myths and misconceptions about military service and the branches. And, you know, we want to, you know, how do we educate hometown America about what it means to serve and to go through the journey? And that's kind of what we, you know, in concept came up with. What are all the things that people need to know? And what I really University of Georgia, you know, there's an onboarding process for families that go to the University of Georgia. They want to get the families behind them. They want to know, hey, here's what dorm life looks like. Here's what the cafeteria looks like. And it's all to kind of to build, you know, pride and esprit de corps behind and commitment to that university. You know, and that's one of the things that we saw was kind of missing in the military is it's this dark space. And, you know, there's people that, you know, naturally moms and dads and the siblings, you know, they want to know what's going on. But what's so unique about us is the social graphs that we connect to for these new soldiers. I mean, it's the parents, but it's the 5 buddies on the football team, the guidance counselor, the football coach. And that gives us the opportunity to really educate and inform that entire social graph in hometown America, what's going on and what it means to serve. And, you know, we get a lot of questions, you know, and it's funny, you talked about the weekly updates, because I can tell you one of the things that blows me away in today's world where everything is kind of reliable on artificial intelligence and AI doing everything. I'll reach out and call tons of my families all the time that are using Sandboxx. And they're like, oh my God, you're a real person? I thought this was AI. I'm like, no, it's really, really me. I send the weekly updates every Sunday. I want to know what's going on. What can we help you with? What kind of questions do you have? Because, you know, in the time of uncertainty, you know, there's a thirst for information. And we'll go searching, and sometimes we'll go searching for information and we'll find ourselves in locations where it's not giving us the most accurate communication channel to our families. We're going to tell you what's happening. We're going to arm you with the right information. And if you need help, you'll have a real person that'll reach out to you and help you with to be the voice of reason in a time of uncertainty.
Wow. Wow. So let's do this too while we can. And there's so much stuff I want to talk about with this. But so there's an app version and then there's the web version. So I'm going to show our viewers the web version. And you know, this is the app. You go to sandboxx.us or .com. I think it's
.us.
.us. Okay. Sandboxx.us. And here connecting our military community. So I'm just going to log in just for all intents and purposes. Let me close that out. And just log in and there we go. Get started. Welcome. And it's so easy. Shoot, do I have to continue? Let's see here. Thanks for your click on the link. Okay. Okay. So while let me go back to, so while there, I'm trying to authenticate in. Carlette, you want to ask some more questions?
Okay. So, you know, the more we talk, so you're the one that's sending out us. It's like, okay, now, thank you. I really need those weekly updates. Because then when I call the family or they ask, I said, well, this week he's going to be doing this. And to be honest with you, like when he told us, okay, this is gas chamber week. Yes, I called the prayer team. every week. And so when we talked to him afterwards, he was like, yes, it was horrible, but I'm fine. It's over. I said, well, we prayed. Honey, we was praying for you. We didn't pray that you get out of it. We just prayed that you endured. And so, because you got to do it. So, but yeah, it helps. It helps with the journey. I was even, the Sandboxx community chat, one of the moms has said, no, it was a wife, because her husband has one more week left. And she said one of the things that helped her was how she stayed busy, because he's going to be stationed in DC. So she has to she's by herself getting ready for this move, so he'll come home and she has to have this stuff wrapped up. But she said that busyness helped the weeks go fast. So she was giving us the advice of how to stay active and what to do. But I brought that up because the support, the camaraderie, we are really, it's more than just us being a military family. We are in a military family.
Yeah.
And I feel it. I told Christian, I said, you changed our lives. I was just thinking, hey, this is your journey. No, this is our journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
It's funny how you say that, and how it becomes a family affair. And before I touch on it, I'll just kind of tell you how I came into the Army, and it became a family affair. So I would tell you, I grew up zero aspirations or ideas on how to join the Army at all. Was a senior in high school, and was out of nowhere, an Army recruiter called me. My initial thoughts were, man, I must be in trouble if the Army's looking for me. Because I'd never thought about it. I'd never seen a recruiter. And, then the recruiter said, man, I would love to talk to you in fourth period. And unbeknownst to him, fourth period for me was calculus. And I said, I will talk to you all you want if you get me out of calculus. Like, it's game on. And I met with that recruiter, and, it sounded like a phenomenal opportunity to me. It just opened my aperture because, like many young men and women, I had aspirations to achieve so much, but my resources didn't match those. And I knew where I wanted to go, but getting there was a different journey. So how was I going to achieve that? And I saw that opportunity in the Army. And I went, met with the recruiter, came home, and I told my mom, me and my mom basically grew up together. She was 17 when she had me, or when she got pregnant with me, had me at 18. I told her, I said, hey, I need you to cook an extra plate for dinner. She thought somebody from the team was coming over. I was like, no, nobody from the team. It's the Army recruiter. I need you to sign parental consent, because I was 17. Well, I would tell you, you would think we were from Louisiana, South Louisiana, because everything we ate that night was blackened. And otherwise from the South, we would just call it burnt, because she was nervous and freaking out.
That is funny.
But one thing, I remembered leaving for the Army, and I remember my mom hyperventilating just about as I walked down the terminal, just distraught that in her mind, her baby was gone. And I never forgot that. And that her being just distraught that, her baby is leaving. And, fast forward 25 years later, my mom cried the exact same way at my retirement ceremony. But the one thing that I thought was the most powerful thing, and I tell this to all moms, I served in the Army for 25 years. I remember at year 24, my mom was here visiting, and I had to go to work. And she asked me, she's like, well, you need to stay home today. I'll just write you a note. And I told her that doesn't work anymore. I'm not in elementary school, but her mind, you're always the baby. But after 25 years in the Army, my mom was there for me the entire time. She never stopped being my mom. And I think that's important for all moms and dads to understand, is just because, you're your loved ones joining the Army, you're always going to be their mom. You're always going to be their dad, and they're going to need you every single day. And that's one of the things that we want to do at Sandboxx is we want to create that environment from day one to stay in communication, to stay in contact, to know how much, family is important, because I would have never done anything I achieved without the support of my family. Now, when you talk about this being an Army family now, both of my brothers ended up joining the Army after me. So it started a new tradition in our family. Now, I know I saw you got a tennis player and a football player. I'm just saying, get ready. It may become green in a couple of years.
Right. Well, she's already planting seeds for my middle son to be part of.
Incredible journey. It's a wonderful opportunity.
So I was able to get authenticate in. So let me just show this. So guys, and those that are watching, this is the page. I mean, it gives a wealth of information, like just all kind of information, news articles, and it lets you know the how many letters I have left and where we are in the process of writing letters. And it's just and I don't want to go through all of it, but just want to show you the parts that, we find. So we can, like, if we wanted to invite someone to, or refer a friend, a family member, you can send out this, copy this code, and you send it out and then you get a free letter. This is the greatest part. I don't know about the greatest part, but all of it is good. So you can set up a squad where you can invite family members. If you buy, like, let's say 20 letters, all of you all can share in these 20 letters. So if I click here, I sent one out to one of Evan's coaches, but he never, responded back. But anyway, to sign up, but I have to follow up with him. But this shows you how many squad members are here, how many letters we sent. Letters. I have 3 letters remaining. You can donate letters to this particular squad, and I think if you click on here, no, okay. So let's see. If I go back to, where is it? Go back to news. That'll kick you out to, like, all the news, that they're publishing, Sandboxx is publishing. But where is?
Are you wanting to look at your letters?
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah. Where's that? That's
click on the home tab.
Oh, and then history.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is my letter to him. And what's so cool about this, you can add. So I was like, dude, I know you balling out there in basic training. So just some stuff, to my son. I told him Steph, he's a LeBron fan. So I told him Steph just got 4,000 3-pointers. And so, and then I said talked about, my birthday and love you. So then the cool part about this, guys, is that you can add photos to the letter without, needing to put a photo in the letter. And so you could just, I took a screenshot of the photo of him and added it, and that's Chloe. And then Chloe. So this is, like, really cool. But the other part to this was, if I click on the home, this will show you, where is it that you can see the...
Click on home again.
The route.
And scroll down just a little bit, and you'll see weekly updates.
Oh yeah, here's the weekly updates.
Yes.
So that's.
I look forward to these.
Yes. So, like, Christian is on week 7. I want to say
6.
6.
Yes, this is the week.
He's going
6.
to week 7 though, I think.
Wait.
Yeah, I think he's going to week 7.
He told me. He said it was the beginning of week 6.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway. Just for all intents and purposes, this is all the things that he'll be going through. But he already went through
Anvil.
Yeah, I thought he already did that.
That he did the hammer.
Oh, okay.
Anvil is this week.
And so they have YouTube videos linked here. I mean, this is, like, you all did such an amazing job with keeping the parents informed and to calm our nerves about what's going on. But where I was looking for maybe it's here. So it shows you when they received the letter, when it was shipped, and when it was delivered. But let's see. And then this is what I was trying to get to. So it goes from right outside of Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, and then it goes to Memphis, and then back to Fort Jackson. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, I think you just brought up a good point, because I get that question asked a lot. So our main fulfillment center, our office is in Arlington, Virginia. So every letter that is sent, once it's originated by the user, it is printed in our fulfillment facility in Arlington. And from there, we sort everything by battalion and company that's going to Fort Jackson or Fort Benning or, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And we overnight FedEx them to the locations. So once it leaves Arlington, I get this question all the time. Memphis, so it goes to Memphis, and then it goes to Columbia. So, I think this is what the cool thing is, mom could be sitting in pickup line picking up their other kid, break out the phone, do a 6,000 character letter, take a selfie or a picture of what they did that day, hit send, never has to go anywhere. She sends it before 4:30 Eastern time that day. We print it, and then it's on the base the very next day. Dad could be sitting on, lunch break at, the factory, or he could be, the job site, wherever he's at. The exact same thing. Never has to go anywhere. They know, hey, that letter. And the beautiful thing is every letter that you send with us, it comes with your letter, your photo. It comes with free reply stationery, an address card, and a return envelope with postage provided. So it makes it really simple. I think we were talking, earlier about, how things, get dark, and, I think there's some generational skill gaps. I think, Chris and Carlette, our generation, we knew what it was like to run around the streets and not have cell phones. We just had to be home when the street lights came on.
Right.
But when you look at these young men and women now, some of them have never written a letter in their life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we try to make it as easy as we can. The return address for whoever sent it, there's a card right there. They just put it in the envelope, seal it, and they're done with it. It makes it simple.
Yeah. Okay. Feature enhancement. Our son does not write back. So yeah.
That's
No, I'm just saying, because he doesn't write. So I'm just like,
and we came in this knowing he wasn't gonna write, because the way he sounds.
First family that has ever asked for that.
Really?
I would just, I would say, I say this jokingly. My mama told me young and alive, she says, they're only going to give me 2 years if I kill you out of anger. So if I would have not written my mom in basic training, written her back, it would have been game over for me.
Wow.
Wow.
We know we're arming that young man with everything he needs to write.
Yeah. Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, I was just thinking, man, this dude is not gonna write. So why do they have to include a self-stamp envelope back to?
Well, and one thing I will tell you too about that a lot of people don't understand is they really only get about the last hour of the day for free time.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people that get they get their feelings hurt a little bit because they don't get a letter, and their tempo is so busy. And they get that last hour of the day for some free time. And in that free time, they're preparing for the next day. They're getting all their stuff ready. And they're trying to read the letters that they did get. And, time is, there's not a lot of free time. There's not a lot of, hey, let's hang out on the couch or let's take it easy. So, anyone with, a loved one going to basic training understand that, they don't have all the time in the world to write, but probably the most exciting part and it's mail call time, and they're just thinking, man, I hope there's a letter in there for me. I mean, that's exactly how I was. Every night I was in basic training.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, he told us, like, when the downtime like that you're talking about, he reads his letters and he reads his Bible, and then it's lights out.
Yeah.
And I am so good with that, because I see the growth in him with his relationship with God. I see the growth in him. Every week I'm hearing progression in his voice. I'm hearing confidence. I'm hearing, this weekend. And I completed, I got the red dot.
You got a red dot or something?
And I got a marksman, and I passed that. Yeah, I got that. I was like, yeah. Ooh, yay.
You're putting chills down my spine. I mean, I love hearing that. The journey that they go through basic training. I mean, it's, it is a tough journey to become a soldier. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if there is a will, there is a way. And, and I always say, with no test, there is no testimony, and they're going to test you every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But once he graduates from basic training, I think you all got, about 4 more weeks till that comes?
Yeah. April 17th.
Oh, we're right at a month.
Yeah.
So 30 days, it's here. Mm-hmm. That is going to be one of the most memorable events of your life. I will tell you, I mean, I remember my basic training graduation like it was yesterday. I've been to hundreds of basic training graduations. Some snot bubbles and everything, so bring your tissue. But I can go there and not know a soul, and the event is just so powerful, of seeing families reunited and seeing these young men and women that have earned the right to be called an American soldier in the U.S. Army. I mean, it brings tears to my eyes watching it, and I won't know a person there. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait to see, to hear from you all when you all get to experience this with Christian, because it's going to be phenomenal.
Well, this is what I'll do. I'll invite you to his graduation.
Take a flight
to Columbia, South Carolina. No.
But don't be surprised. I might just come.
All right. Well, hey, you're invited.
Right.
Yeah, I did want to also mention to our viewers that not only do they send out letters, they send out scriptures.
Yes.
They send out, and he received his as well, like newsletters of what's going on. So like if your loved one,
you signed up for that.
Yeah.
We're paying for this.
Yeah, it's an additional cost, but
and it's worth it.
It's worth it because my son is a huge football fan, and just to send him out the sports summary of what's going on, because he received one last week, I want to say, and so he's a Colts fan, and it said what happened with the Colts and all this. So, but yeah, he said that helped, and I mean, there's so much other stuff that you can do as what they call like an add-on when you send out the letters, and it goes like on a weekly basis, I want to say, to them. Am I correct?
It's a on-duty newsletter that'll tell you, it kind of just encapsulates the whole military arena, everything that's going on in the military world. Mm-hmm. And then there's off-duty newsletter, and that could be anything from what's going on in pop culture and things that people want to know about, Justin Bieber or Kendrick Lamar and Drake's beef, just simple stuff like that. That you can educate it on. And then, the Bible verses, one of my favorites. You get a dedicated verse every single day. And then, for any sports fanatic, I can remember that in basic training is like, what's going on in the world of sports?
Right.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing. And so, it's a recap of all the games that went on the previous week. We send that out every Wednesday to them. and it lets them see, all right, my team won, or hey, they need to pick it up. They, they didn't do so well that last week.
Wow. Do you have one story besides us? No. Do you have one story of like a family that was really blessed by Sandboxx that you can share?
Oh man, I would tell you there's been so many that I've had the fortunate opportunity to speak to. And I would tell you, throughout my Army career in recruiting, I spent countless evenings and hours with moms, dads, grandparents, significant others, and just answering questions. And I really understood that I end up talking to wives, moms, dads, grandmothers, football coaches, guidance counselors, principals, just tons of just different users that all have this innate love for someone that has joined the Army, and they're just coming to the platform to wrap their arms around them and support them on their journey to become a soldier. I'll tell you this, and I think this is when I knew what we do made a difference. Last April, I was in Fort Jackson, and we had about 1,000 families that were following a journey through basic training, and I was going to be there on Family Day, and I said, it would be really incredible if I could talk to some of our users. So I sent out an invite. Hey, come meet me. I would love, here's where I'm going to be. I would love to meet you, share your story with me. I really anticipated maybe 15 or 20 users would, reply back to come meet me. And to my amazement, 200 families clicked back and said, we're going to come there and meet you. I originally, had scheduled a 2-hour block to be there to meet families. And at 5.5 hours, I had to cut it off because I had a flight I had to go catch.
Oh, wow.
But this was the most intimate relationships with people I had never physically met in my life. But the hugs that we embraced with, the true fellowship. Her and her grandson going fishing when they've already completed basic training. I mean, these are enduring relationships, and, when you said we became an Army family, like, we're bonded now, we're connected.
Yep.
So
I got to make you a pound cake now.
Oh, might have to be some pancakes too. You got me with pancakes earlier.
Christian told me, I said, now when we come from graduation, I said, do you want to go to a restaurant afterwards, or do you want us to get an Airbnb or a hotel with a kitchen and I cook? He said, I need you to cook. He said,
Yeah.
So what, you had something to say. I'm sorry, Kris.
No, so Family Day, and I just get, if there's any families out there that are going to Family Day and graduation for basic training, one thing that I always like to tell them, Family Day, you're going to be on your feet, walking around, hanging out on the base all day. Be comfortable that day. Mm-hmm. Graduation, you get to take them off base, take him back to that Airbnb, cook, just see him smile, and he will love every minute of it. It will be a blessing.
Wow. So what happens after, like, Family Day is just a day of what happens during Family Day? Yeah.
So on Family Day, it's usually the Wednesday morning before graduation. Mm-hmm. So that they'll have an event on Hilton Field at Fort Jackson. It'll start at 9:00 in the morning. It'll be about an hour-long ceremony. your shoulder, and then you get to spend the entire day on Fort Jackson with him. You'll get to go to the PX, you'll get to go to see his, his barracks, his unit, and some of the places that he experienced while he was there.
Wow.
And, it's just a time for, it's family time. I mean, it's exactly what it is. I mean, you haven't seen your loved one for, 10 weeks, 11 weeks, with reception and everything. And it's just, just take a step back and just embrace it, because you're going to see the change physically, the maturity change, and just as such a just driven young man. And I don't say that because you weren't before, but it's there's a change. And then the next day is going to be graduation, and that's the final culminating event. And the pageantry that they do is so phenomenal. And they walk across that parade field, and they are now have the privilege to say, I'm a soldier in the United States Army. Like, you can be 5 foot tall, but you stand like you're 6'4".
Right.
You can be 105 pounds, but your chest and shoulders is out like you're 250 and just should be a linebacker. I mean, it's the pride that you have is just phenomenal. And I encourage any family that can make it there, go, because you will not be disappointed.
Wow. Wow. So with Sandboxx, is it just for basic training, or are you all looking to expand this like to AIT and then to other areas?
Yeah. So, there are tons of families that use us in AIT. And there's tons of families that will use us when they're diminish a little bit with letters, because that cell phone gets a little bit more permanently fixed in their hands again. And and it might take a couple weeks before they get full access to their cell phone, or they may go to a place that day one, you got your cell phone back. So and when they get to AIT, they kind of start taking bite-sized bits, and expanding freedoms and opportunities. They don't want to give it all back to them at once, because you've just been on kind of in this basic training mentality. We're not going to give you just carte blanche freedom of maneuver from day one, because some people, they wouldn't know what to do with it. They'd have too much fun.
Yeah. Wow. I just want to say to our viewers, if you like the information that we bring to you on a weekly basis, please like and subscribe, and definitely share this with anybody who's in the military or thinking about going to the military.
Yes.
Make sure you share this broadcast with them so they can get signed up with Sandboxx and send letters to their loved ones.
And I want to say this also to the listeners. When your loved one makes a decision to go into the military, please keep politics out. Support them. Love them. Support them. Love them. Have their back, because they are going into a whole new world, and let them become totally acclimated in this wonderful decision that they have made, and just be their support. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Just be there. Love them. Support them. Speak victory to them. Speak completion. Speak graduation. Speak the things of the Lord, if that's your thing. Okay. But I just keep it positive.
I don't know. Well, just for security purposes, I know you all don't read the letters, but like, what are some tips and tricks that, are some guidance that us as parents and loved ones, like some do's and don'ts?
Well, can I say, before you answer that, he tells us that every week. He tells us that every week. There's a section. So this week, since they're doing this, you should write them about this. Yeah. So when you get into subscribe to Sandboxx, they're going to even help you think. Here's some, if you get a writer's block or something like that. But please.
Yeah, I think what you said is exactly true. And we try to, frame that for all of our supporters, because there's times that I don't know what to write about. Well, hey, here's what's happening next week. Wish them luck on their first physical fitness test. They're going to the field, or they're going to go out and qualify with their weapon. wish them luck, or ask them how they did last week. So they can, they can tell you. And, you know, people always love to tell you about the great things in their life. Ask them about those. And I just, the things that I like to tell everybody, lift them up.
Yep.
That's the best thing to do. Inspire them, love them, and encourage what they are doing. I think that's and tell them about what's going on in your life. Chris, like the letter you wrote, Steph wrote, just got his 4,000 3-pointer. I mean, that's incredible. Even if Chris a wall locker. That's where you put all your belongings. And when you get these photos, you're putting them up on your wall locker. So when you open it, you get to see that. Or you'll keep them in a book, and at night you'll open them up, and that's home. One thing that no one can ever take from you is home.
Yeah,
it's where you're always going to be from. And little remembrances of home normally always make you smile, because there's love for where you came from. I've seen some really special things. I had one mom that she had a daughter in Fort Jackson and Fort Sill at the exact same time.
Oh, wow.
And graduations were within a week from each other. And she was just going at it. I think one of the most special things that I ever heard her say was, she told me about a letter that she got from her daughter. And one of the letters that she wrote back after receiving with us, the daughter traced her hand and sent it to her and said, "Here, even though I'm not with you, you can still hold my hand."
Oh, wow.
I was like, that is just special.
Yeah.
There's so many little things like that just warm your heart.
Yeah.
And knowing that, we helped a mom with 2 daughters, 6 states away, graduating from one week from each other, stay connected with both of them at the same time.
Wow.
It was, the stories like that just go on and on and on. But it's, family is everything. I came from never had. They are yearning to keep those connections when they go on their journey to serve. And that's where we want to come in and help the friends, the families, the football coaches. And the other thing I think is incredible too is when we were talking about the weekly updates, and I just think about this, the 5 buddies on the football team that are getting the weekly updates about what Chris is doing in basic training. Some of them are probably going, "Well, dang, Chris could barely make it through conditioning. Now he's just made it through the forge and earned the right to be called a soldier. Like, if he can do it, I know I can do it." So they start to visualize themselves becoming a soldier as well.
Wow. He had 2 co-workers, right, that because we had a big send-off for him. We banquet like style. We did. Awesome. And people just loved on him. A lot of veterans came, a lot. And but 2 of his coworkers came, and they were like, "You don't know this, but you are ahead of the game. You're ahead of all of us. Although we're older than you, we look up to you." And they were like, "You are so focused. We love that." Because he did college as well. That's why he came in as a was it E3?
P3?
Yeah,
E3.
E3.
Yeah.
And so it's just with you saying that is happening. That is happening.
Yeah. Well, I know we're about out of time. I just wanted to see if you had any few last words for our guest.
Well, can I give him my thank you? I never got my thank you out.
Okay. Do your thank you.
So one of the things that happened spend a week in Army. So when he called us with that, that 30-second call and flashed us this address, us, immediately it was 2-3 letters out the first day. So they went in that direction. So then we get another call. Hey guys, I didn't go to basic. We like, what? So I'm going to be getting another address. I was like, dude, it's already about 4 letters headed your way. And he was like, I don't know if I'll get it. And so I was told to contact you. Well, it wasn't you, but and then you appeared. And then then I connected you to Kris. Mm-hmm. But I want to say thank you because he found my two letters. That's just my 2. I think he had 2. Mm-hmm. And they took it and rerouted them to his new address, and he did receive them. I just want to say thank you for going the extra mile, for finding them, sending them, because I know out of 6,000, I know I did at least 4,000 characters on each letter. So I just want to thank you, and sent pictures. So thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, it means the world to hear that. But I would tell you, unequivocally from the bottom of my heart, I'm thankful for you all. I am thankful that you all have trusted us to be a part of your journey, to be your communication channel for Christian, and to all the families that come into Sandboxx. That is what we're here to do. And, I think, there's, the old African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. Mm-hmm. You want to go far, go together. Mm-hmm. And I want us all to go far, and I want us to go together. Wow. And I truly, truly mean that. And this community means the world to me, service members and their families. And I mean, what better way to wrap our arms around each other, to show unity as a family, and that's one thing that I've always loved about the Army. It's a family, mm-hmm. and it don't stop from when you serve. That mentality just continues mm-hmm. forever for me.
Wow.
So you still get up like 4 and 5 in the morning?
I do, actually.
Wow.
My wife thinks I'm crazy. Now I get up at 5 o'clock, but I go to the gym. It's just to do that. Mm-hmm. I still get my hair cut every week. But I was getting my hair cut every week before I joined the Army, so I've always been that way. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Do you make up the bed still Army style and
the miter corners?
I have got a few bad habits. Because if I did that, my wife would be mad at me because she's still sleeping in the bed when I get up.
Okay.
You'll have her all tight in there.
Right.
There's some battles I know I'm not even going to try.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
I learned it long ago. Happy wife, happy life.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
That's
yeah.
Right.
And when were you married? What month?
In August.
Oh, so we got you about 3 months.
You do?
Yeah, May 19th is our anniversary. 24 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations to you. That is such a blessing.
And the same.
That's God's work right
yes,
there.
It is.
Yeah.
What day in August?
August 4th.
Okay. Well, that's my birthday month. That's why I was asking.
August what?
August 23rd.
Okay, well, we get broke off in August because we have our anniversary. My birthday is on the 7th, and my wife's is on the 17th.
Oh wow!
Wow.
And then after you get all 3 of those, it's time to go back to school shopping.
That's
right.
That's it. And we looked on the calendar. Our start July 31st.
Oh my goodness! so where we're at, they're going to do that. I'm so thankful that my son's a senior and he's graduating. I don't have to experience that because I don't know if I could mentally handle going back to school in July.
Yes. Well, listen, thank you so very much. Once we close out here, we're going to call you. So keep your phone near. We're going to call you back. And any kind of words?
No, I'm good. Just wanted to say thank you again, and we will look you up. We'll give you a call next time we're in Huntsville. I think that's in the next probably two, 3 weeks. Yeah. And you're more than welcome to come to Fort Jackson on April 17th. I'll let you know if anything changes, So, and then I also wanted to say, tell everyone from Sandboxx that Chris and Carlette said thank you so much. The CEO, the brainchild,
Yes, thank
but
you.
tell everybody to keep up the good work. Just offer encouragement.
Really incredible. You've got a friend for life.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. I love this. See, the family gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Well, all right then. Well, we'll let you go, and we'll give you a call after the show.
We'll give you a call.
Sounds great. Y'all take care.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Well,
wow.
there you have it.
There you go. There you have it. That's so awesome.
Who wouldn't want to join this family?
Now you're going to be a recruiter for the Army.
Right. I'm going to be a recruiter. Momswhorecruit.com.
Oh, okay. No, this crazy major. His name is Major Jamie Gray. I'm just putting him out here.
27 years with the Army himself.
Yes, he was very instrumental in Red Christian his rights.
He did.
He
did the first swearing.
Yes. So we want a big shout out to Jamie Gray.
Major
Jamie Gray. Yes, you got to put that major.
He just got that promotion a few months ago.
Yeah.
And you went to his ceremony.
Yeah. Support him. One of the great fraternities of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Can I put up the yo? Because I'm your wife.
No. So yes, he's a Noop. He's a Kappa. He's all of that.
Almost did it.
Carlette.
It's a joke.
But just thank you, Jamie. But so we got to go. So next week, next Monday, we have, I don't know if we have a show. I mean, if we have a guest for next, we're going to have to.
YouTube, that will take you directly there. But if you're not already subscribed to YouTube, our page, go there, subscribe to it, and click on the bell so you get all notifications, the one that says all. Okay. All right. And like I say every week, we love you, we appreciate you. Seek the face of God. Pray to the Lord. Pray to him. He wants to hear your voice. He wants to hear the concerns of your heart. Listen, you don't have to bear this alone. No, you don't have to bear this alone. All because, you know what? We have to take it to the Lord in prayer. Take everything to God in prayer, small and big. Nothing's too small and nothing's too big for the attention and the ears of God. He wants to hear your voice. Okay. And he wants to respond. But open your mouth first. Call on him while he may be found and while he is near in these last and evil days. And if you don't know what to pray for, just listen to the news about a good 5 minutes. You'll have a list. It's something always to pray for. We love you. We look forward to seeing you next week. And go and support Sandboxx if you are in the military.
Yes. Peace.
Thanks for joining us this week on Chris and Carlette Live. Make sure to visit our website, chrisandcarlette.com. If you're on Facebook, share this broadcast. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our show. You may also find us on Apple Podcast, where you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. Let us stay in contact with you by texting CNC Live to 474747. That's CNC Live to 474747.
CNC Live.